Hello and welcome to Tell the People, a program about our Catholic faith with news and information in and around the Catholic Diocese of Lafayette. I'm Stephanie Bernard. In today's show, Trista Littell has an interview with Sister Judith Correll about a jubilarian celebration for religious brothers and sisters. Father Michael Champine's talk is about Mary, our mother, in the segment, What It Means to be Catholic. And in a conversation with Bishop Michael Jarrell, Monsignor Richard Green interviews Bishop Jarrell about Catholics Come Home campaign. And now, Catholic news on this May 8th weekend. In 1936, the Carmelite nuns arrived in Lafayette. A celebration honoring the Carmelites' 75 years of service to the Diocese of Lafayette will be held on Monday, May 16th at 5:30 p.m. in the Monastery Chapel located at 1250 Carmel Drive in Lafayette. A Mass of Thanksgiving will be offered by Bishop Michael Jarrell of Lafayette, and Monsignor Roby Robichaud will be the homilist. Everyone is invited. The Jesuit Spirituality Center in Grand Coteau would like to remind everyone that individually directed retreats have been scheduled to begin on the following dates: May 16th and May 30th, and June 13th and 27th. Participants may choose a retreat lasting 3, 5, or 8 days. Application forms may be obtained at www.jesuitspiritualitycenter.org, and further details may be requested by calling 337-662-5251 during standard business hours. A non-refundable $50 deposit is required in order to confirm a reservation for any retreat. The people of the Lafayette Diocese are invited and encouraged to attend any one of 4 upcoming prayer services before the start of the hurricane season. These services will provide an opportunity for the entire community to join together in prayer and awareness before the start of the 2011 hurricane season on June 1st. A non-Eucharistic prayer service will be held in St. John's Cathedral on Thursday, May 19th at 6:30 p.m. In the North, South, and West regions of the diocese, special services will be held in various locations on Thursday, May 26th. They will all begin at 6:30 p.m. St. Francis Caprini Mission Chapel in Kaplan will host a Mass. St. Matilda's Church in Eunice will host an ecumenical prayer service. St. Peter the Apostle Church in Four Corners will also host an ecumenical prayer service. Everyone is invited to attend. Coming up next, Trista Littell has an interview with Sister Judith Correll about a jubilarian celebration for religious brothers and sisters.
Welcome to Tell the People. I'm Trista Littell, and with me here today we have Sister Judith Correll, Marianite of the Holy Cross, and Director of the Office of Religious Brothers and Sisters for the Diocese of Lafayette. In that capacity, she serves as the liaison between Bishop Jarrell and 22 congregations ministering in the Diocese of Lafayette. Welcome, Sister Judith.
Thank you, Chris.
You're here today to share with us the plans for this year's Jubilee celebration for religious who are currently serving in the Diocese of Lafayette. To begin, Sister, it would be good to give us some facts about the religious of the diocese in 2011.
Sure, Trista. Well, the first thing I'd say is we're still bringing the light of Christ, I hope, in every area through our usual ministries: education, health care, social work, care with the elderly, or work directly with the elderly, and the poor. We are 174 religious, men and women. Now I don't have any priests in my area, only brothers and sisters. And my job is a great one. I love doing what I'm doing. I never dreamed I could do it. But the facts that we have that many religious still wanting to work for the church it's a wonderful gift, and working with Bishop Jarrell has been a tremendous gift.
Now, earlier you were talking about the various groups.
Right. We started, first of all, with religious in 1821, which was the Sisters of Grand Coteau, Blessed
Sacred
Philippine descent. Right, Religious of the Sacred Heart, thanks. And in 1821, and they were followed in 1846 by the Sisters of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. And both those groups are still in the area. And a certain other group that came in 1856, so it was my own order, Maronites of Holy Cross, and we are still working in Opelousas, and no longer in education, but in healthcare, and specifically care of the elderly. And then we continue to bring the charisms, the gifts from our orders and from the saints who founded us to the people of God today. And one big thing I take note of is that we are no longer in competition. We work as much as we can collaboratively to do special projects for the church here in Lafayette.
And as you said, you all have such gifts. There's collaboration rather than competition. That's
It is
wonderful.
It is. It's great.
Well, can you share with us about the concept of Jubilee?
Sure. It really comes from the scriptures. The book of Leviticus talks of a Jubilee year every 50 years in which wonderful things happen. Sins were forgiven, people were freed, at least slaves were freed, people were freed from prison. We also know that it was a year that kind of no planting occurred. It was a year that was fallow, that allowed you to be. And I guess we as religious adopted that whole concept of lying fallow almost, although we don't really do that, but of resting and stopping to thank God for 25 years, 50 years, 60, 70, and we had an 80. This year we have only 375, but we would celebrate anybody in the 70s, I'm sure. So that's, that is what my work is, to help them to be the best they can be, to reach the people most in need.
So it's a Jubilee of vows, thanking God.
That's right. And we all take vows. Most of us take 3, some take an extra vow for special service, whatever. But we have translated the year of Jubilee to the lived experience of our vows and the anniversary of our vows. So it's a very big celebration. And not only, we're not the only people that celebrate vows. Obviously, the marriage vows celebrate 25, 50, and so on. But here in our diocese, we are quite blessed to have 174 religious still faithful to vows and wanting to continue to do the best job they can despite age or infirmity.
Now, what is the diocese going to be doing, or what are the plans for the diocesan celebration of the Jubilees, and how many religious will be celebrating?
It's a very special event here in our diocese. I've been in other dioceses, so I can make the comparison. But here, the Diocese of Lafayette, through Bishop Jarrell, we have a special liturgy. He will say a Mass of Thanksgiving on May 12th, at which all the Jubilarians come, and each one can bring six friends or sisters from their own congregations or brothers, whatever. And they also have the dinner that is a really banquet style. And we then see each other at that event, and it becomes like the community of religious for this diocese, and we look forward to it. It's a very special occasion. And there are 23 this year. 3 brothers, Christian brothers, and the rest 21 religious women. So we will all gather here at the diocesan building. The Mass will be in the chapel here, and then the dinner is in the auditorium next door.
Now that's going to be May 12th at 5 o'clock,
That is right.
you mentioned
Yes.
earlier. Yes. Now, if there are interested people that want to know more about the Jubilarians in detail, how can they find out more about them?
Well, I'm so excited. This is the first time that we are on a website with the picture and the biographical sketch of each Jubilarian. And all you have to do is go to the diocesan website, www.diolaf.org. I hope I got that.
Sister, thank you so much for being with us today. And folks, we want you to stay tuned because there's more on Tell the People.
Coming up next, Father Michael Champine's talk is about Mary, our Mother, in this segment, what it means to be Catholic.
Good morning and happy Easter once again as we continue the Easter season during this month of May. The last couple of Sundays we looked at the mystery of the resurrection, what it means for us. It's the fact of the resurrection and the reality of the resurrection and our own future resurrection. Being in the month of May, May is traditionally dedicated to our Blessed Virgin Mary, to Mary. And so today we want to begin a 4-part series on looking at the 4 Marian dogmas, those 4 doctrines of the Church about Mary, which shed much light on who Christ is. And, of course, because of who Christ is, we understand Mary in her relation to him. So we'll begin today on this second Sunday of May by looking at Mary's virginity. Mary, we say the Blessed Virgin Mary, or in the Confiteor, the I confess to Almighty God in the Mass, we ask the Blessed Mary, ever Virgin, to pray for us. And so we want to reflect on the first of these 4 dogmas of Mary, Mary's virginity. In the prophet Isaiah, we read in chapter 7 that God sends Isaiah to King Ahaz, who is in a terrible plight because he has failed to help Syria with the Assyrians, and now he's afraid that he's going to be taken captive. And Isaiah goes to King Ahaz to strengthen him, to tell him to trust in God and the promises to the Davidic kingdom. And he says, ask for a sign. Let it be as high as the heavens, deep as Sheol. Ask for a sign from the Lord your God. And King Ahaz, not seeming to be interested, says, I'm not going to ask the Lord. I'm not going to tempt the Lord. And Isaiah, with the message of God, says, this sign God will give you. The virgin shall be found to be with child, you see, and bear a son, and he shall be called Emmanuel, God with us. So this prophecy, 1,000 years prior to the time of Christ, is what is revealed and fulfilled in the person of Jesus Christ as that God with us, the Son. And the Virgin, the Church has always understood to be Mary. And particularly because it's revealed in the New Testament, Matthew, when he gives the account of the birth of our blessed Lord, he speaks about the Virgin conceiving a child. And thus to fulfill the Scriptures, Matthew says that to fulfill what the Lord had spoken to the prophet in Matthew chapter 1, verse 23. And then he continues, ask for a sign from the Lord, the virgin shall be with child, and that child shall be Son of God. So Mary's virginity is both prefigured in the Old Testament and revealed in the New Testament, certainly in the infancy narratives of both Matthew and the Gospel of St. Luke.